Welcome to Game 6 of Round 1 against the Nashville Predators. Now, I know this video is a little late, okay? But please understand, it's hard to make videos when you're 16 beers deep into celebrating. There were also 2 Game 7s I had to watch. By the way, I just want to send my condolences to any Leafs or Golden Knights fans who may be watching this video. Here's a little moment of silence for your teams. Now, I know that I know that you guys know how this game ended, and I already alluded to it when I said I spent the weekend celebrating, but in all seriousness, this video took me a bit longer to make because I have a lot I want to say. First of all, let's talk about the game. With Thatcher Demko still sidelined with an undisclosed injury, rookie goalie Artūrs Šilovs made his 3rd start in a row for the Canucks, and I'll say it again. This kid is good. Us Canucks fans knew we might have something special in him after he backstopped the Latvian national team to their first ever medal in the 2023 IIHF World Championship, but I don't know how many of us expected him to be this good this quickly. Look at the big saves he made in the first minute of the game. Clearly, Artie was ready. Now, a huge part of playoff hockey is wearing down your opponent. In a best-of-7 series, it's important you make every single thing difficult for the team you're playing against, and the Canucks are one of the best in the league at doing that. That's one of the reasons why I've had so much faith in them this season. Watch this shift, for example. As Tyler Myers skates the puck in to gain the zone, he fakes a slap shot and takes it wide on Nashville defender Jeremy Lauzon. Niels Big Hog Höglander eventually gains possession and starts working his ass off, doing all he could to keep the puck in Nashville's end, trying to churn up some offense. If you watch the Canucks a lot, you'll notice that fairly often teams will go after Höglander or Garland, despite neither of them being dirty players. They rarely, if ever, even engage in trash talk, and yet they get attacked somewhat regularly. It's because they're so frustrating to play against. They just never give up on a play, and you'll see that from Garland too in a second. Anyway, the Predators ended up gaining possession, but they were so exhausted at that point, all they could do was ice the puck, forcing their tired players to stay out for the next shift. So naturally, Coach Rick Tocchet put out JT Miller's line, and they picked up right where their teammates left off, but this time they came within inches of scoring the opening goal. This is what I'm talking about. Imagine having to deal with this for 6 or 7 games. Meanwhile, at the other end of the ice, Šilovs was stopping everything Nashville threw at him. The Preds also had to deal with Dakota Joshua running around the ice like a freight train and Connor Garland doing exactly what I was just talking about, working his ass off to win puck battles, no matter where they are on the ice. He's relentless. The second period started with both teams trading chances that both goalies managed to snuff out. At this point, it really was a battle of the goalkeepers, but here's the thing. On one end of the ice, you've got the 29-year-old former Vezina Trophy finalist with 373 career games under his belt, including 23 in the playoffs, Juuse Saros. And on the other end of the ice, you've got 23-year-old Artūrs Šilovs, who's played only 12 career games, including just 3 in the playoffs. Need I remind you, coming into this series, Šilovs was the Canucks' 3rd option in goal. 3rd.
Are you kidding me?
No, Roman, I'm sorry, but this is no joke. But then Brock Boeser got called for high sticking while absorbing a hit from Lauzon, and because Lauzon was bleeding, the Canucks had to kill off a 4-minute double minor penalty. And on that power play, Josi tried to score by weaving his way into the zone, but Šilovs stopped him, allowing fellow countryman Teddy Bluger to make a beautiful diving clear. Then Josi tried to set Ryan O'Reilly up for a tap-in, but Nikita Zadorov got his stick in the way of that attempt. Then Josi tried a good old-fashioned shot from the point, but Bluger got his stick in the way and deflected it out of play. Josi, I'm sorry, man. Petey pummeled Tommy Novak, Šilovs robbed Philip Forsberg, and the Canucks killed the penalty off. The Predators kept pressuring though, and they probably would have scored too if Šilovs wasn't in absolute demon mode.
Are you kidding me?
Still no score after 2 periods. Now, aside from this chance for Nashville that Šilovs handled quite nicely, the Canucks controlled the majority of play for the first 18.5 minutes of the 3rd period, and at one point were out shooting the Predators 8-1, but Saros was standing on his head, keeping his team in the game. Just look at the clutch save he made on this Boeser breakaway. None of the Canucks could solve him, but nobody, and I mean nobody, deserved a goal more than Pius Suter did. He could have had 2 in the 2nd period alone if it wasn't for the Finnish goaltender. And it wasn't just this game either. Suter had amazing chances to score in both games 2 and 5, but Saros just wouldn't let it happen. In fact, when the fan-made Round 1 Juuse Saros highlight videos inevitably start popping up on YouTube, you'll notice that the vast majority of those highlight reel saves were against Pius Suter. So where am I going with this? Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs are all about storylines. It's where heroes are born and where most villain origin stories begin. It's where underdogs shock the world and legends are made. And sometimes the story unfolds in a way that feels too good to be true, like it was written in a script beforehand or something. Obviously, the play of Artūrs Šilovs was a big story in this series, but I wanted to highlight the one that feels just a little bit too perfect to believe, and yet it's as real as they come. After failing to score on so many occasions in this series, Suter's frustration was understandable and started to show. But this is why you never give up. This is why you hear hockey players say things like, "We just gotta stick to our game," on a regular basis. With under 2 minutes left, this happened.
Puts the puck behind the net to Boeser. Brock Boeser center, Suter scores! Pius Suter with 1:39 to go!
That's right. Puce Pew Pew, the shooter-suitor, opened the scoring and broke the tie with 1 minute and 39 seconds left in the third period. If anybody was going to solve Saros in this game, of course it was going to be him. And obviously the goal came off a play that was only kept alive thanks to the massive brain of the struggling Vancouver forward Elias Pettersson and an amazing backhand pass by the longest-tenured Canuck, Brock Boeser. You can't make this shit up, man. 1-0 Canucks. But then, in the final minute, Elias Lindholm was called for cross-checking, giving the Predators a 6-on-4 power play with 34 seconds left, leading to a frantic finale filled with a flurry of chances and flailing bodies. Dare I say, it was chaotic. Remember how everyone used to call Tyler Myers the Chaos Giraffe and would lay a big dookie on him any chance they could? Well, I've been trying to change that narrative for months, but now I demand it change because that man is no longer a liability. In fact, he thrives in a chaotic environment like this, and in case you need proof, check out this massive cock block he made with 8 seconds left in the game. Yeah, that shot hit him right in the dick and balls, and no, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Myers bruised his meat banana just so his team could win the game. I'm gonna say that one more time. Tyler Myers' ball sack was the final nail in the coffin for the Nashville Predators, and the Vancouver Canucks have advanced to the second round of the 2024 NHL playoffs. Rookie Artūrs Šilovs becomes the youngest goalie in Canucks history to record a shutout in the playoffs, and we should have seen it coming after he said it was his time to shine. This kid is shining so bright I'll have to wear sunglasses while watching next game. Oh yeah, next game. Again, I know you know that you know who the Canucks are playing next, we all know. In fact, I've already familiarized myself with their fan base over on Twitter. They are a fun little bunch of people, I'll tell you that for free. The Canucks will be facing off against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers in round 2. Game 1 is Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I am so, and I can't stress this enough, I am so damn excited for this. We are spoiled. This is going to be a blast. Now, let's just get some things straight. Connor McDavid is the best player in the world. I'd appreciate it if all of us Canucks fans can acknowledge that truth before moving forward, because the chirps are going to come quick and we have to stay based in fact if we want to win any arguments. Another fact, Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman in this series. There's no doubt about it, and I'd appreciate it if Oilers fans could acknowledge that in return. And Leon Draisaitl is a top 10 forward in the league. He's anywhere between 3rd and 10th in my opinion, but that's a little bit more debatable. The Canucks have better goaltending, of course, but we don't know if and when Demko will make an appearance in this series, so it's on the shoulders of Šilovs and DeSmith. Even still, I think Šilovs might be the better goalie, but we need a bigger sample size from him before we know for sure. The Oilers have more playoff experience, and they've also got a chip on their shoulder after getting prematurely eliminated for the past 3 years in a row despite having the best player in a generation wearing their jersey. On top of that, Vancouver beat Edmonton 8-1 in the first game of the season. Boeser had 4 goals that night.
How'd that happen? Was it more them or you? Or?
So long ago. I'm not even going to answer that. That was so long ago. Yeah.
And that wasn't even the end of it. The Canucks went on to sweep them in the season series, outscoring them 21-6 in the 4 games they played against one another. And I'm sure the Oilers want revenge. However, the Canucks also have a chip on their shoulder. This team has proven so many people wrong at so many different stages of the season. They've got a coach who's virtually a lock to win Coach of the Year, a defenseman a couple months away from winning the first Norris Trophy in franchise history, 4 forward lines that know their roles and play them well, incredible chemistry between players like Miller and Boeser, Hughes and Hronek, Joshua and Garland, and at times, Pettersson and Höglander. They've got the biggest blue line in the league, 6'8" Tyler Myers, 6'6" Nikita Zadorov, 6'5" Carson Soucy, just to name a few, and they're gonna be wearing down the Oilers' forecheckers all series long. Plus, the Canucks just advanced to round 2 without their best offensive forward scoring even just 1 goal. I see Oilers fans making fun of that without realizing, if anything, it should probably scare them. They better hope Pettersson doesn't break out of his slump. Look, this is going to be a fantastic series. Even if the Canucks win in 4, even if the Oilers win in 4, it's still going to be an amazing watch. But for the record, I truly believe the Canucks can do this. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to make these videos for you. I'll have a new one out after each game. Thanks to these amazing nuckheads who chose to support the channel by clicking the join button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on Thursday. And remember, the Vancouver Canucks are good. All right, bye.
I love being doubted. I think if you start at the start of the year, you know, whether teams, yes, as a Vancouver's going to make the playoffs, a lot of people said no, we're a bubble team, so we're underdogs, you know, there. As the season went on, right, when are they going to fall? Now it's the same thing, you know, people said, the Preds are going to win, we lost that game. Or, you know, I just think we kind of like that underdog role, and I think players should embrace it. I really do.
Guys, now when the character win.